Hello and welcome to ISTV News. Let's look at the top stories first. 4 out of 5 students fasting unto death demanding implementation of ILPS arrested by police, remaining 1 student hospitalized at RIMS, and 6 more persons begin fast unto death at the gate of late Robin Hood's residence from today. Let's look at the big stories now. 4 out of 5 students fasting unto death demanding implementation of ILPS in the state in front of the Anand Singh Higher Secondary Academy have been arrested by police late night. Reports received from the spots, some police personnel came with civil dress, picked up the students from the fasting site. However, a big confrontation erupted between the police personnel and local Maira Paibis and volunteers of the area. Police dragged and pulled the students on the road and thrown into the vehicle they brought in front of the public. The way police act against the students was strongly condemned by the public. However, one student, Mukesh Thaudam, jumped down from the police vehicle and continued fast unto death at the protest site. Meanwhile, his health was severely in bad condition. A team of Child Welfare Committee along with doctors came at the spot and rushed him to RIMS Hospital for further treatment around 11:30 a.m. today. On the other hand, the 4 students arrested by police are also undergoing treatment at RIMS Hospital. Meanwhile, many irate ILP supporters started blocking the roads of New Chekon, Khurai Ahongai, Nongmaibung, Nambam Chuthek, starting from Porompat in protest against the act of Manipur police to the students. The ILP supporters blocked the roads by piling huge logs and burning used tires. No vehicle was allowed to pass the roads by the ILP supporters. Talking to media persons, convener of JCILPS Women Wing Anbi said, the way police act against the students was highly condemnable. The demand asked by the students is legitimate and reasonable. The agitation launched by the JCILPS will be intensified if the government fails to implement ILPS in the state, she added.
Ngarang atheng bada mi achik patanjai yengakanda angang mari punga mata pukhaki bahai base aduga hujik phawol leibam khanganda bahai base Manipur sarkar gi yamna tawba ngamba amadi yamna phattaba thawin sin amani aduga nupi macha du ison cholaba nupi macha du indijana phamdana khotana thangkapai mauta laktana langkhat bahai base masi Manipur sarkar na Manipur gi DGP gi makhada leiba musung army gi makhada leiba moina kaimta tawba ngamde haiba so ngarang gi angang langkhapaduna su mayek sengna tai haiba wapam ji masu ai mayam da thamjari aduna ai khoi se women wing gi group ama chalakanda mangra ba anga sing doi khoi hujik thiba chachagadobagi gi tayari da akoi leijare.
Meanwhile, 6 other persons have started fast unto death demanding implementation of ILPS at the gate of late Robin Hood's residence at Khurai Larikingpam Lekai from today. They have been identified as Yumnam Sangdaiba Maitei, son of Y. Irabot Maitei from Langol Housing Complex, Type 3, President of MSU Imphal East District Committee Sumanta Manohar Mayum, son of S. Ibemcha Devi from Sector Maya Lekai, General Secretary of CAF and PD Labourers Welfare Association Roman Razit Moirangcha from Haigruzam Mamang Nambol, Tensin Akoizam, son of Akoizam Sarachandra Maitei from Uripok Sinam Lekai, Dipeshwar Larikingpam, son of late L. Dinamani from New Chekon, Awang Lekai, and BSc 3rd year student of Manipur College, Haurokcham Johnson Maitei, son of H. Deven from Awang Kuno, Mamang Lekai. On the other hand, 2 more persons also started fast unto death demanding implementation of ILPS in the state from yesterday at the wetting shed opposite to Thangmiban Thau ground. They have been identified as Lesang Them Pratap, president of Naharol Leshemba Club, who is also spokesperson of Thangmiban United Club, and L. Gunindro, member of New York. They also demanded that those police personnel involved in the killing of Sapam Robin Hood and other police personnel involved in mercilessly assaulting the girl students should be punished. The women folk of the Thangmiban area also stayed near the protest site and staged a sit-in protest by blocking half the DM College road. As part of agitation demanding implementation of ILPS in the state, many Maira Paibis, clubs and voluntary organizations took out torch rally widely in Manipur last night. A large number of torch bearers proceeding from Kaishamthong and Khagempally towards Kaishampat was stopped by police at Kaishamthong Bridge. There was tussle erupted between the police and the torchbearers. Police launched tear gas shells and mock bombs to disperse the protesters. On the other hand, a group of torchbearers coming from Kwakaitel along the Tidim road was stopped by police at Keshampad. Police here also launched tear gas shells and mock bombs to disperse the protesters. There was exchange of launching catapult and pelting stones between the protesters and police personnel. Many groups of torchbearers coming from Singsamai Mathak, Yumnam Lekai, Toksom Lekai, Ngakraba Leirak, Chinga Mathak and Yumnam Lekai proceeding towards Moirangkom, demanding implementation of ILPS in the state was stopped by police at Moirangkom. There was also scuffle between the protesters and police, tear gas shells and mock bombs launched by the police to disperse the protesters. The local resident of Brahmapur also took out a torch rally last night. The rally started from Dharmalaya Social Welfare Club and proceeded towards Moirangkom. However, police stopped the protesters near Tumbuthong Bridge. Later, the protesters returned and continued at Brahmapur areas. At Nagamopal and Khoyathong areas, many ILP supporters took out torch rally. Police stopped the torch bearers at Khoyathong traffic point. On the other hand, many torch bearers coming from Imphal Ukhrul Road, Larikimbam Lekai, Pangai Road, Tinsit Road and Ayangpali Road demanding implementation of ILPS conversed at Khurai Lamlong Bazaar and proceed towards Khurai Hongai. However, police dispersed them by launching tear gas shells and mock bombs. At Mayang Langjing Nupi Samas Semgat took out a torch rally starting from Mayang Langjing Bazaar to Lamshang Bazaar demanding implementation of ILPS in the state. Many slogans were shouted by the protesters. In Thobal district, many ILP supporters took out torch rally at different places. Many protesters have been reportedly injured in police action. Many torch bearers coming from Haukamaning, Mamang, Amurijim, Thobal Okram, Thobal Wangma, Taba, Saval Tongba, Ningombam, Nongkathong, Thobal Khetri Lekai, Thobal Achoba were conversed at Thobal Bazaar. Thobal police stopped them at the bazaar. However, the protesters tried to proceed DC office Thobal via Thobal Bazaar. There was a scuffle between the police and protesters. Police dispersed them by firing tear gas shells and mock bombs. On the other hand, at Kangapok and Yaripok areas, many ILP supporters took out torch rally and submitted a memorandum to local MLA K. Meghachandra. 4 protesters, including an aged woman, injured in police action. They have been rushed to the district hospital in Thobal. Sit-in protests were held along the Ayangpali Road from Wangkai Kongba to Prairomba Khongnang Makhong yesterday. A human chain was also made and shouted many slogans, including if the ministers and MLAs of the state are not able to implement ILPS in the state, then they should resign. Later at night, a torch procession was also took out from Kongba Uchekon to Ananda Singh Higher Secondary Academy via Konung Mamang. Women folk of Wangu Ahalup Apunba Maira Paibi of Kumbi Assembly constituency staged a sit-in protest near Wangu Ahalup Bridge yesterday, demanding implementation of ILPS in the state. They also held a procession during the day, followed by torch procession at night. On the other hand, Hizam Lekai Apunba Maira Paibi Lup took out a torch procession at Thangwiban Hizam Lekai last night, demanding implementation of ILPS in the state. They also shouted many slogans like implement ILPS in the state, police personnel involved in killing of innocent students should be punished, and save those persons fasting until death, demanding implementation of ILPS. On the other hand, various clubs, organizations and Maira Paibil Lufs also held torch procession at Sagolban site till late last night, demanding implementation of ILPS in the state. They shouted many slogans including implement inner line permit system in the state, etc. A torch procession coming from Uripok area site was stopped by the police. There was confrontation between the public and the police. Torch procession at Nongmaibung area was also held last night by hundreds of people. In order to stop the torch procession, police personnel fired many tear gas shells and mock bombs. Some protesters were injured in the police action. They were rushed to the nearby hospital for treatment. In support of the implementation of ILPS in the state, various clubs, organizations and Mahira Paibil Loop including MYDO Club, Seya Club, Seva Club and Nganu Leima Makha Mahira Paibil Loop also made human chain yesterday and shouted many slogans like implement ILPS in the state, etc. In continuation of supporting the implementation of ILPS in the state, roads were blocked from Konung Mamang to Wangkai bus terminus in Imphal East District this morning by ILP supporters. However, essential services including medical and media were given free passage by the protesters.
I'm ready. Teloro. Editor car late. Some say huzik pudi perfectly straight ado kankhar kandadi freezy. Relax. Perfectly straight.
Aina semi anoba sunsil perfectly straight with straight lock technology maramdi. Some kankraba matung dasu align straight oina laina bagidamo.
Wow. Huzik su straight oirina. Straight and gorgeous. Sunsilk perfect straight. Lock tobu, rock tobu.
Let's look at some national and international news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who begins a two-day visit to the United Arab Emirates today, has described the Gulf country as a mini India close to his heart. About 2.6 million Indians live in the UAE. Prime Minister Modi said in an interview to Sharjah-based newspaper Khalis Times that it was an anomaly that an Indian Prime Minister is visiting the country after 34 years. India and UAE have everything to be a top priority for each other. This is the way I look at the UAE. The Gulf region is vital for India's economic, energy and security interests, said Mr. Modi. We have resolved to sustain regular high-level engagement and build a strong and comprehensive strategic partnership, he added. Pakistan's unprovoked firing and shelling along the line of control or LOC with India in Jammu and Kashmir has led to the death of 6 people and 16 others have been injured. Pakistan opened fire and resorted to shelling in the Balakote area of Poonch district continued through Saturday even as India celebrated its 69th Independence Day. The Pakistan Army began shelling on Saturday morning in civilian areas in Mendhar, Saujian and Mandi sectors of the line of control or LOC in Poonch district, resulting in heavy civilian casualty. Condemning shelling of civilian areas by Pakistan resulting in the death of 6 civilians in Poonch district, Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mufti Muhammad Said said Islamabad should be told to stop military machinations to inflict miseries on the people of Jammu and Kashmir. We cannot allow our helpless civilians living along the borders to become the ill-fated victims of the military machinations from across, Mr. Said said, adding that ironically it is the people of Jammu and Kashmir who have been suffering the worst miseries of more than 6 decades long hostility in the region. Pakistan's spy agency ISI's former Chief Lieutenant General retired Hamid Gul died last night after a brain hemorrhage. Mr. Gul suffered a brain hemorrhage and was shifted to the combined military hospital in Muri, where doctors pronounced him dead on arrival, the Dawn reported. Mr. Gul remained ISI chief during 1987 and 1989 when the US-backed Afghanistan's war against the then Soviet Union was at the last stages. He continued working in the spy agency in the post-stages of the Afghan war. He retired from service in 1992. Born in Sargodha on November 20, 1936, he joined the army in 1954 and was commissioned in the army in 1956. Fitted with powerful camera, special purpose aircraft may soon fly over the Ganga to survey the river as it courses through 5 states for a geospatial mapping of its basin to rid it of pollution and encroachment. The survey would be conducted under the ambitious Namami Gange program of the NDA government, which aims at rejuvenating the highly polluted Holi River. Sources at the National Mission for Clean Ganga NMCG said special purpose aircraft would be used for mapping the river to closely capture pictures of floodplains necessary for preparing a database for plans to cleanse it of pollutants. Unfazed by the Bombay High Court order crashing the ban on Maggi noodles, Union Minister Ram Vilas Paswan has said the verdict does not alter the grounds on which it has claimed Rs 640 crore in damages from Nestle for misleading advertisement and unfair trade practices. Nestle got a reprieve last week from the High Court, which lifted the ban slapped by food regulators on 9 variants of the popular instant noodles across the country and asked the company to go for fresh tests of the product. The death toll in twin blast on this eastern Chinese port city on Sunday rose to 112 after authorities recovered more bodies from the debris as 95 people are still missing, officials said. More than 700 people were injured and 85 firefighters and 10 others are still missing since the blast shook the area. So far, 21 firemen who were among the first batch of firefighters rushed to put off the fires at a warehouse before the explosions were killed. The death of firefighters is the highest so far in the tragedy in China's recent history. Members of the families of the missing firemen have been agitating, calling for more information about their dear ones. About 722 people are hospitalized, of which 58 are in critical or serious condition. Let's look at the top stories once again. 4 out of 5 students fasting unto death demanding implementation of ILPS arrested by police. Remaining 1 student hospitalized at RIMS, and 6 more persons begin fast unto death at the gate of late Robin Hood's residence from today. For the moment, that's all from us.